All right. Good evening. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this special edition Wednesday night of As the Prop Turns. I couldn't be happier to have Mr. Dustin Kluwat Cartel, Mr. Kyle from Speed Marine, and these gentlemen join me tonight. Kyle, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Dustin?
having us, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. There's so much going on, and we've all been talking. It says I am. No, let me just.
You're live.
Well, you're good then. All right.
No, I always like to just make sure we're live and it's working, and then we're not, people aren't missing something. But you guys, we've been talking, and Dustin, you reached out, and we said, you know what, let's do it. Let's talk about it. The state of affairs in offshore racing right now. Where are they at?
That's a wonderful question. Now, man, we started the RWO series this weekend in Atlantic City, back in Kyle's home. Looks like we are just found out we're going to be finishing up the IHRA in Sheboygan, which really I don't think that came as a surprise to anybody. I think anybody that was surprised by that hasn't been paying attention. I don't think we know the who, what, why, when, wheres of those decisions yet, and hopefully we'll find out shortly. But that's kind of where everything's at right now, man.
Well, and I was surprised, Redbeard, I call him Redbeard. Andrew reached out to me last Friday in the evening, a little after 5, and let me know what happened. And I was blown away, man, because I thought he gave a very empowering talk in the Ozarks to all of us, to everybody, of what he was looking for, his vision, and what he was trying to do, what he was up against. But we both agreed, hey, let's not say anything. IHRA hadn't said anything. Sunday night, I had to message him. I said, hey, Atlantic City's over. Let's put this out there, because somebody posted in a thread. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but because somebody said who got fired today, and then somebody put Andrew Hubbell's name in there. So, it was out of the bag. And Kyle, you came down to Cocoa Beach, and I'm still trying to figure out why you got DQ'd. And I've been wanting to ask you that for a long time. So give it to us.
Pretty much they said my fuel was hot, which it wasn't. It was from the gas station down the street. There's no rule in the rule book about the fuel itself, except for the densities and stuff like that, which mine was within the spec. And then I got DQ'd for delaying the race that they canceled. So where the crane was, they craned us next to all these fishing boats and barges, and there was only 2 little docks. There wasn't enough room for everybody. So we craned in early. I went around the corner from it. There's a beautiful marina. I don't remember what it's called, maybe Bay Harbor Marina. I paid the guy $20 because I was at the dock for so long. He came down and made me give him $20 because I was sitting there for so long. We got suited up and ready to go. And in the WhatsApp, they said race canceled. I said, okay. Took all my gear off, stood on the dock, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk to the crane and see if anybody has anything to say. And I ran into Smitty there, and Smitty's like, yeah, well, I'm not sure what is going on right now, but I would tell you to get in your boat and head out there. So we get in the boat, and Kirk was idling up and down the inlet the whole time for probably an hour. He's just idling back and forth and back and forth. So we get in the boat, get suited up, start heading out, and then we get a call over the radio. Yeah, they're going to start the race without you. I said they never even brought a pace boat or anything to pick us up. So we get there, everybody's down there. We never even got off a plane. We just swooped around, got in line, and started the race. So I didn't think anything of it. We put it out there. Dustin and Lil Owen, waxed us. It is what it is. Sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not. And, we gave it everything we had there, and we put it on the line. I got out of the boat. I was barely walking. Jay was all messed up. Everybody's hurt. And, my whole family's there. My crew's there. All my friends are there. and we're going to go to the award ceremony, and they don't call us. When all of your peers that you're racing against look at you at the same time and are like, why did this happen to you? And you're looking around for a race official and there's nobody in sight. There's nothing written, there's no email, there's no nothing. There was so much question. To this day, I never spoke to someone and got an answer for it. To this day. All I know is it got overturned and we got the second place there. It was horrible.
Well, that's unfortunate. I also understand asking questions around the class. Almost 6 weeks to get the results from that race.
Yeah.
That's a little lengthy time
it
there,
was-
Dustin.
It was like waiting on blood work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and 6 weeks to get the results. And when was that race? Because it's been that long that we hadn't got paid as well. But
Yeah.
hey, we did get reached out to today by someone. I made a phone call to IHRA, and someone did call a little while ago and asked for my banking information for the 200th time. So
I
she
did.
asked, yeah, she asked how did I know all the information. I said because I've by heart because I've had to give it 10 times. So
Yeah.
but hopefully we'll see something soon from that.
Yeah, the communication with them is absolutely horrendous. You show up to one of their events, it's gorgeous. The meetings are run pretty well. Everything's pretty well organized. The WhatsApp, all that stuff worked great. But the actual racing infrastructure, unfortunately, it's just not there.
I'm gonna have to agree with you guys tonight, and I hate, I'm just being honest. I was really hoping for the Ozarks to be like, man, they really got it all pulled together, and it was it's a great site. Love the Ozarks, but on the morning of the guys' Super V race, I had to be on the dock with Twisted, Knucklehead, the guys, because that was my commitment for the day of who I was helping. And when the pace boat comes over and you get the WhatsApp, like you said,
Right.
get your gear on. We're gonna get going soon. And then the pace boat came over and gave them the nod, like, all right, let's go. And then an hour and 17 minutes they float because they put on another jet ski race. So, and it's just the lack of communication. And again, you got guys out on the course and these boats floating, and it's a lake race. So, these guys all weighed and measured their fuel, and they only got. It just turned into, like you said, it wasn't the greatest, right? But,
I had 3 buddies with me that had never attended a race besides the New Orleans race, and we kind of, the prior day we had some lightning delays and what have you, and they said, man, we're the first race of the day. There's no way we could be delayed. And I jokingly said, watch, we'll figure out a way. And I mean, here we are pushing off the dock, and 50 jet skis come across the course, and we've got to wait 30 minutes for a jet ski race. And I think one thing people do not look at is these boats are about 140 degrees inside.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, when we got out after that race in Cocoa Beach, because I had to wait for Kyle to get to the race forever, we sat there, and I mean, me and Owen got out that boat, and it took. I mean, when we all got out, we just walked around just in our own little circles. I mean, we were all hot, and if that race went another lap, I don't know if any of us would have kind of done it just because how hot it was from just being out there and stuff. So
Pedialyte.
yeah.
Pedialyte. Make that your best friend.
Well, and talking about.
We had to stay out there longer because I had to get a flag, and I forgot that part. And that's really why we stayed out there so long.
Well, I mean, and the IHR, you got to give them some credit for they've had 4 races, they've put on 4 races, and the turnout was good. The first 3 was really good. The last one was down. So the question is, will they regroup? Will they pull off Sheboygan? Will it be good? Will everybody show up to support it? Because I have seen some guys posting, hey, let's boycott Sheboygan, and I don't want to say any names of what I've seen, but I don't think that's the right way to go either, right? Because again, they came out with a product that we all really liked. I mean, and again, I wish I should put the video out. I filmed them coming into the Key West last year when RWO and they're setting up. Look, what did Larry think was going to happen when the IHRA came in and they're handing out money in his backyard, right?
He let the fox in the hen house.
Well, somebody did. But it sounded like they maybe had a chance. They were talking. It was looking like it. Who knows? None of us know the real truth, and that's okay. But I think it would have been a match made in heaven had it worked for the fact of the platform IHRA presented.
I think IHRA came in. And I preface this with, look, I'm 2 years into this. Kyle's been eating this shit sandwich for years, and a bunch of the racers have. And to be honest with you, I think, we came in and we're new faces and we're like, everybody's in this and they just keep accepting this hand that they're dealt. And we being in newcomers, just like, this is not how it's supposed to be, or it isn't how it should be. But one thing, if IHRA never has an offshore boat race after Sheboygan, I believe they up the price of poker. We've got good production out of that. Somebody's got to lift the bar somewhere, and some of these other races.
I would agree with that, but where's the money coming from?
Yeah. Well, you got to find somebody that's got a product that we all touch, whether it be that dish soap sitting on the back of your kitchen, or that bottle of water in the fridge, or look around your house, man.
Did you hear how you said that? You got to find. We're not the ones that are supposed to find it for the organization. Well, the man I'm talking to down here, this kid's gone above and beyond with sponsorship and all kinds of stuff. I'm so beyond impressed by him, what he's accomplished in this short amount of time with sponsors. I think he's doing a tremendous job. But why can't the organizations do that? Why can't they raise the money
I think they can.
But they don't.
Well,
from what I see, they don't.
I don't know. I mean, Larry's got a list of sponsors on his page. If you go to the back page for Key West, there's a whole bunch of businesses.
Okay.
It's very hard. And Chris, me and you have talked about this. I was a class 7 guy last year. That's an entry class. It cost me damn near $12,000 to stay in Key West before we did anything. But I sat in front of a mayor that bragged that we brought $38 million of revenue to the town. And it's the largest event. It's the largest this. And we sat there and like, hey, you mind breaking off a piece of that pie?
Yeah. And this year you can't get a place to stay.
Correct.
Well, and Kyle, for everybody at home, what Kyle's talking about, I'm going to let him explain it. They've changed the rules in the Key West, and I believe down in the town in certain areas. Or is it all of Key West?
I'm pretty certain it's all of Key West. You used to be able to Airbnb, VRBO, all that kind of stuff. Weekly rentals. They did away with weekly rentals. They're monthly rentals now. So it's going to crush them. People just simply aren't going to go.
I think Billy Moff said it that a house was going to cost him like $30,000. And I don't want to speak for him, but I think that's what he said.
It costs me, for my crew, I generally have to get 2 places.
Correct.
Between 15 and 20,000 normally. That's what it normally costs.
A good down
for the
payment
folks at home that are listening, and you're trying to understand all this, Key West, okay, biggest race of the year, but I'll say this. In 2000, the Worlds were in St. Petersburg. So it's not the end-all be-all, okay? But with that being said, they've got a contract. Larry's got a good thing. It's a great place to race. It's historic. It's all of those things.
So
the expense of it is
in my opinion on it, it's crazy money. It's stupid expensive, but there's nothing like it. That 3 days of racing and the pits being right there and having there's nothing like it. I mean, it's the best event by far.
Hey, the best part about that, man? When them cruise ships unload, them people wander through and don't have a clue of what we're doing, where we're from, what it's about.
Yeah.
And these people are looking at you like you're nuts. And Dustin, that's what happened to you. You got the taste of this with that little 7 boat, and you said it about Sheboygan. Tell it.
No, I mean, Sheboygan, I love those little small towns that we go to. I think that's the coolest. We laughed last year. Darby couldn't get out the truck and fill up gas without somebody wanting his autograph,
Did Darby write down his name and you could read it?
Yeah. Once we taught Darby how to spell his name, he was good. He was good with the whole autograph deal, you
I
know.
love Darby,
But
man.
no, Darby's awesome. And look, we enjoyed the hell out of it. But those small, like Michigan City. I mean, I didn't go there last year, but I've been watching YouTube clips. I'm so pumped to go there, where a whole town volunteers and they want you there. They know you're there. You know, you go to these towns. I mean, Atlantic City was great last week, but we went on the end of the pier to watch the race, which I think was the best place to watch the race. And the bartender at the thing said, "What are y'all doing here?" So there's a boat
Yeah.
race today. And she
They
said, "What are you-"
don't market it.
She said, "What are you talking about? There's a boat race." I said, "Babe, you have the best viewing of this, and you have no clue this is going on." And they didn't. And Chicago last year. We go to Chicago. It looks great on the schedule. How cool is that? We raced in Chicago.
Yeah.
We parked the Grom we go to park the Grom at the host hotel. Me and 20 guys behind me, all in our little Honda Groms with all of our team wraps on it. And he's like, "You can't park that here." We're like, "Man, we're here for the race." And he's like, "Yeah, what race?"
My truck wouldn't even fit at the hotel, bro. I had to take an Uber every day.
Yeah, it's just so I think you got a bunch of those small towns. I mean, look, the New Orleans race was great. I think you got Biloxi down the road that take you. There's a lot of towns I think that can truly benefit and that would welcome you with open arms.
Well, and you're dabbling with the tourism now. You brought the Louisiana State Tourism Board on board, and I've been paying attention to you since you did that. I was paying attention to you before that, um, and you're doing something new, but I think that's something other states should be looking at.
Oh, I've been reached out to by several people. Lake Wiley Racing has reached out to me. Mike with Framed Racing had a meeting while we were in Atlantic City about getting the keys to sponsor. They're looking at doing something. Brad with Dirt Legal called me about Florida. No, I think it's a pretty cool deal. And look, if we pull off everything that we plan to pull off and we're set to pull off, I can only see it getting bigger. I mean, it's a pretty neat thing seeing that Louisiana boat going down the road.
So George did that, I believe, with Visit St. Pete a few years ago when he had all the 32s running.
Yeah.
He did it with Visit St. Pete, and it seemed to work pretty well for him. So, and it's obviously working well for you. Maybe you could call some of your contacts and get me like a Visit New Jersey or something, you know?
Atlantic City. We need to get you with the Visiting Atlantic City lady we
Yeah.
met at the awards the other night.
So
Yeah.
we're getting some questions in here tonight, and there's Kevin Murphy said hotel rooms are under 300 a night if you look in Key West right now. And Kevin, thanks for that. Appreciate it. But again, Kyle's got a big crew, buddy. I mean, if it was a room, Kyle, tell him what hotel rooms would cost you for your crew.
Well, keep in mind, and Kevin knows, and Kevin's awesome, but keep in mind, we're there for 10 days.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
So let me start off with Kevin's a trader. I want to start off with that. I love him for a really, really, really long time. He's a trader. He went to Michelos's team, and he left me. His information is false. The hotel room you could get for $300, none of us are sleeping in. Nobody's staying in a $300 a night roach coach there.
Yeah. Well, you're right. My wife keeps us out of those. Like
Hey,
leave the
Kevin.
luggage in the truck, dear.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm only kidding. You know I love you, buddy.
So somebody else chimed in and said that's only in the Truman Annex, which okay, fine.
I did hear Chad Rudisell told me today that their house was in a Truman Annex, and so that may be accurate about what you're saying.
Well, and thanks for that, Jeff. Key West's expensive, but Dustin, you already brought it up, and that stuck with me too in the tent. The mayor came in and bragged. You're right about the economic impact, and somehow, some way, I just think that if you get all the brains together of the Conch Republic, Key West, or wherever the show's getting taken by the circus leaders, you get a fund together, and you give the guys that little bone for coming. Because I'm going to give Zacho a shout out right now, Killing It. The Killing It lifestyle page. He posted an article. I'm sure the girlfriend helped him. She's a little ball of fire. They're great people. and it's very well written from a grassroots kid, and I can call him a kid because he's young, and it's his first season. He spent a ton of money on this boat. I mean, a ton. And if anybody wants to argue that, I'll wait for you right here. From an drive out number 6 to having to switch it all up to the IMCO SC, whatever he did, you guys know what those out drives cost. I don't have to tell either of you that, especially you, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm a dealer for them.
Right.
I know exactly what they cost.
So that kid wrote a piece that everybody should read it. And I understand. Sit down, Bobby.
Answer him.
Man.
I'm gonna send him the voicemail.
Well, if Bobby's listening, he could really chime in because he's got the link on his phone.
Yeah.
So if he's brave enough, he'll just find me in the text and he'll touch the button. Yeah, I know he is. So, look, the kid wrote a good piece, Killing It Lifestyle. Go look him up, read it yourself, take away what you want from it. I thought it was very well written. It says what needs to be said. I understand what a lot of the old timers and the guys that have been around a long time, Mr. Saras, I agree with what he said in his piece too. But at some point, the young guys like Zacho, and no offense, Mr. Saras, he doesn't own an engine shop or a marina. He's a kid. And he put one of these boats together, and he put a lot of time and passion, blood, sweat, and tears, as you guys do in your boats, because all your boats are podium boats. They had like 3 engines in Atlantic City, that different boats that win. They're good guys. But in today's economy, in today's real world, if you throw that kid a bone, he's coming.
Oh, absolutely. Right? I mean,
them were the guys I want on my team.
It started with the 7 guys. So back however many years ago with OPA, there's a guy, Mark Henderson, that was around, and I hated boats. I hate boats. I want nothing to do with boats. We were big into race cars and street racing and stuff. Mark Henderson approached us and said, "Hey, we're starting this class." I literally went out and bought like a $3,000 boat. Hurricane Sandy just went through. I put a 2.5-200 20-inch midsection off a fishing boat I found in the woods. I'm not exaggerating that. Put it on the boat. We started racing. I believe the smaller guys, class 7 and, class 5 and class 6, all these guys, they do deserve the attention. It starts there. I started in class 7. We started class 7. When we got it was called, what the heck was it called? Mod V. They changed it to Super V Light. When we got Super V Light, you had Randy Schluss and We Haul Boats. That was the whole class. We got one. Steve Papp got one. We built the whole class to pretty much what it is today. All the SBI guys wouldn't come to race with us. They want to mix it up. Lily put a 525 in his boat. He came and raced with us. So it is the majority of the small guys that build up. This guy had a class 7 boat. I'm coming off the mole. He jumps on the back of the golf cart. Super nice guy. I'm like, who the hell is this? And he introduced himself, and he was an absolute sweetheart, and I loved him since then. But he started in class 7. So the guys deserve the respect,
Well, not only that, Kyle, remind you, this weekend in Atlantic City, how many boats were there that were bracket boats?
29.
60-something%?
62%.
That's pretty damn strong.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that's
Well,
where it starts.
And Bobby, he took offense to somebody's comment about the usual cast of characters or whatever they referred to showed up.
They called them supporting cast.
Right. But I told Bobby in private, I said, hey, don't take offense to that. It's kind of how I referred to everybody as clowns in my piece. But all I'm saying is I'm trying to relate everybody to what it is. These associations, organizations, they come put up the big tent, and then all of you guys, us, whatever, drag these boats across the country or wherever you got to go, and you produce the content. You give them all these things.
You know what's funny about
fees and all of that.
About that. Dustin dresses like one too.
Well,
hey, with that being said,
let me have
make this comment.
Let me have it.
I did not know Speed Marine on made shirts with sleeves on. A man selling sleeves in the Speed Marine camp. Women, children, and men. I haven't seen anybody in New Jersey that had sleeves on, and they all look alike.
Hey Kyle,
I'll have to
Bill
get
Byburn said Kyle's the camera put at least 20 pounds on him.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Ask him if he wants me to bring up Sunday night.
Oh, okay. Damon, my buddy at Fuel One, they have a sponsor, a hotel group in Key West. That we got to get rooms at cost. We are very fortunate for that connection. Shit, share it, brother. Because Shane just commented on the 300 a night. Whoever commented that, 10 nights, and if Kyle would need 20 rooms for his crew or whatever, that's 30 grand, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hotel's monthly mortgage payment.
So and it's the money's real because it's based off of sales tax.
Right.
I learned this forever ago at OPA. It's real.
Right.
It's 100% based off of sales tax. So they're getting 35 million. Give us one. Give us 1 million.
I mean, that's the conversation that I think. I mean, I'm not trying to be a guy that gets, but it's a legitimate conversation.
Yeah, but
If
it's not
we
for us.
truly-
It's not for us to have.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't know it. For the folks at home, we got to pay to be in the street party. It's like $750,
Oh yeah.
$500, somewhere in there.
My mother does all that stuff, and she's preparing for it now. I think a motorhome you get charged for too to put in the pits.
Yes, you do. Every little thing, and I understand it. That's fine. Okay, but don't bring the mayor into the tent like Dustin said, and they brag about the impact. That there should be something in that little pyramid. They can base it off the last 3 years, and say this number is for the racers that show up. They take the number of boats, they divide it by that number, and they come and hand you a check.
Yeah,
And say, thank you for coming to Key West.
I will give Roderick some credit because Roderick, as soon as the mayor turned it, when he took the mic back from her last year, he said, please, and he mentioned the high hotel rates. I mean, I sat at the roulette table in Atlantic City the other day with a guy that owns a timeshare in Key West. And when I told him we were here boat race, he said, thanks, man. He said, I increased when y'all come to our, we increased the rate seven times. And I was like, that's awesome to hear. And then I lost 400 in the next hand, didn't make it better. So
Yeah, right.
You should have been playing with me, buddy. I did pretty well down there.
Well, I've got 3 good friends that live in Key West, and they say they put out new menus the 10 days we're there with the poker runners. And somebody commented the other night, well, hell, Bill, and Bobby said it. Bill, you're both poker runner and a racer. So, but is it fair? I mean, is it fair to tax the whole group of folks coming down to visit your area for those 10 days because of the event that's going on and the draw? I don't know. I mean, I think it's a legitimate conversation.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
because let's flip the script. I mean, and not saying that nobody would go, but what happened if the majority of the boats didn't go? What does that look like for Key West?
Yeah, but what's the probability of that? Are you going, Dustin?
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And at the end of the day, we kind of sound, and look, we go through this every year. The price of LSU tickets for LSU football just keep going up every year. There's 106,000 people in that stadium bitching about the price of tickets.
Yeah, but they're still there.
And there's 300,000 people in line just ready for when you lose yours.
And
So,
you're right. And everybody wants to go. Shit, I want to go. I was there last year, didn't even get to race because we blew it up first day. So you want to go to Key West. Everybody wants to go to. It's a great event. RWO does a great job. They have a great safety team, SSR. I talked to Sean the other day. He reached out. We're going to talk to those guys soon. We're going to have a safety episode and talk about it, what it takes to. I mean, all of that, because people want to know this isn't just a platform for the racers. It's for everybody, and that's why we did it. So
You got to understand when you're dealing with those guys, it gives you a certain sense of confidence. So I don't know how closely you watched the way I was driving in Atlantic City, but I was putting it on the edge. I knew they were there. I knew if something happened, they were getting me out. Some of these other events that you go to, stuff happens, you might not get out. And you know that is really scary. A good friend of mine, two of them, Dante and Larry, they flipped over to Irish Kevin's boat. We put this boat together 3 weeks straight, got this thing going. They had an issue, barrel rolled it, windshield caved in. Dante's air tank happened to be empty. I don't know why. He had no air. Those guys were in him. They were there in like 20 seconds. They got him out in like 20 seconds. So Sean Steiner and his guys are absolute top notch. I swear by them with the whole IHRA deal and then you know everyone wanting them to come. I got to say, every single person in the class when we were on the meeting, we wanted them badly, you know. And but there's a limit to what we have the ability to do. What are we going to strike and not go race?
Right. At the end of the day, everybody wants to race their boat. That's like the discreet guys, Adam Carpenter. You know, at the end of the day, he wants to race his boat. Ozarks, everybody's not going, not going. You know, he told me in private, I got my permits. I really want to go. I want to race my boat. I want more seat time. I want more experience. And if there's not a lot of boats there, that's even better for me, he said.
Yeah,
He's smart, right? That's smart. But
I'm not built that way.
But not everybody can pay every membership fee. Not everybody can hit every series. I mean, now, you know, with OPA taking back over St. Clair, a whole bunch of guys aren't going to that. St. Clair didn't deserve that. And it's unfortunate, right? So,
And to kind of to go to what you just said about Adam with discreet, you know, we're going to St. Clair, and that was my conversation with Nick and Owen the other day. Is look, we need some seat time and some flat water. You know, I mean, every time we can sit in that boat, we don't get to, you know, we don't get to test as much as we'd like. So every time we get to sit in that boat together, we learn something about it. We learned something about it this weekend, and you know, and we had some issues with some ballast tank and everything else, but we learned about the boat, and we came out, and we know a little bit more about it, and we're ready for the next race. So
why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me what you learned this weekend, buddy?
well, during the race, the spotters kept telling us what the first and second place team, one being Kyle and one being Kurt and Myrtle Beach. And finally, I had to stop them and tell them, guys, I got the best seat in the house. I'm in third place behind them. I'm watching everything you're telling me right now.
So the only reason why I busted them is before Coco. It was Nick and Dustin, and I'm texting these guys, you know, like, I hope they're ready. You know, we love the rough water. Gonna smoke these boys. They better be prepared. And they waxed my ass. I don't know how else to put it. I was beyond impressed with them when they got out of the boat. You know, I shook their hands and I told them how proud I was of them and how great they did. And then what was the last one? Missouri.
Missouri, yeah.
And then Missouri, this guy lets me down. I'm like, what are you doing here? You know, we don't show up to one, and this is what we get.
We weren't hitting on all cylinders in Missouri. Literally, we weren't. So we got that fixed, and then we sent it up to Frank. Frank got her fixed, got her dialed in, and we got over there. We had some ballast issues. We had probably a little wrong prop and a little ballast issue going on. We couldn't put any weight in the front of the boat, but Owen did everything he could. He was a magician over there. It looked like he was typing a research paper. He was pressing buttons, getting everything, and then we finally he got her laid down for me in the last couple of laps. But again, we learned. You know, we learned when, hey, this doesn't work. Let's go to plan B, and we got to plan C, and it was just a little too late, and we settled in the third place. And we knew Kyle was probably going to get disqualified, so we just said, you know, let's sit right here and let's just wait till Kyle get DQ'd.
Well, speaking of Kyle, why did you get disqualified at Atlantic City?
You see, there's a reoccurring deal here. You know, Kyle disqualified.
Don't say that. That's not very nice. This is technically the first time I've ever been DQ'd my whole entire racing career.
Well, second.
So we got a big 28. We got a small 28. If you look back when we first brought the boat out in Sheboygan, you remember when the boat did that crazy? Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. That's probably about one of the scariest things that can happen. You have zero control over that boat. What happens is when the boat isn't propelled forward anymore, it will lay on its nose and it literally just wants to kill you. It's called 10 and 2. So it did it on the start. And I just told Jay, I said, Jay, just run with it. We were close. I think we were like 5,700. I didn't care. It's hometown race. We were close enough. I enjoyed myself, and there's no money there. So, and that's an unfortunate thing to say. That, you know, I don't want to use the words that we threw the race away because there's no money, but in a sense, what is it? I'd rather enjoy myself than be miserable the whole time.
Right.
So,
And it made for the best. It made for the best race of the weekend.
and
So
and
it
it put
boiled down to some higher RPMs that you were allowed to have.
yeah, and it put Safe Cash up on the podium, which those poor guys, my team, my crew, and those guys worked on that boat for like 2 days straight. To the point where I had guys running back and forth to my shop, machining parts to get that boat running for them.
Wow.
So I was so happy for them that they made it on the podium. They were getting in their hauler and leaving. I said, yo, 2-barrel, you ain't going anywhere. Get your ass out of the truck, get up to the awards. You got on the podium.
Now Fallon, Bill's wife, calls Blair. We're in the elevator and goes, "You got a second? Did you hear?" And I immediately thought something happened to Bill or Brett, and I just wasn't sure. And I'm sitting on pins and needles. Put it on speakerphone. She said Speed got DQ'd, and I was like, "No." So I go walk, and I'm ready for Kyle and the shirtless mafia over there to just be ready to fight everybody, but they had a party going on. Kyle was in great spirits, and Kyle was doing whatever it took to keep up with. He was going to catch the red boat. And when I text my dad, hey, we'll be on the podium, Kyle and them got DQ'd. He said, I don't care, it's still the best race of the weekend. So
yeah, let's clarify something with the shirtless mafia. Okay, I'm a
sleeveless.
I'm a larger framed man. I run hot. Okay.
Yeah, I resemble that remark.
Yeah, I run hot. The shirt's off nearly all of the time. So I'm gonna embrace the shirtless mafia.
Well, you know, I love how you guys are. I mean, Dustin, when I met you, you're just it's who you get every time. You know, when people meet you, that's him. Yeah, he's having. They're cooking. Oh yeah, they are.
Kyle's whole family. We got to meet him from the mama to the mother-in-law in Atlantic City, man, and they were a jewel. Hey, I tell you, they had this one little bar downstairs that had a band, starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, ends at 2 o'clock in the evening, and we heard every song they had to play. I mean, it was we had some fun. We'd stop in there, and so we got to dance to the wee hours of the night. We really did. We had a great time.
Well, let me.
If there's a such thing as Northern hospitality, he showed it to us.
Let me second on this one. So I did pretty well on blackjack there, and I was pretty intoxicated, which isn't that common. And I had a few $500 chips in my pocket. So I went up to my buddy here, because I know he's he's a little ridiculous when he's got some alcohol in him. I said, hey buddy, I'll give you $1,000. You go on that stage, you grab that microphone, and you sing. So it's Stu's. Pyburn took the chips from me. I gave him the chips because, you know, it's a real deal thing. So he sits for a minute, and he stews. A song goes by.
I didn't know the song at first.
All of a sudden, the Sublime song comes on. Everyone's singing and dancing, having a great time. He jumps on the stage, moves the singer out of the way, grabs a microphone, and goes like this. You'd never think this guy would freeze and not have nothing to say. And he goes like this.
I don't know what happened to me. I know the song. I couldn't sing it. And then I was offered a compromise to either get off the stage or kindly exit the hotel. So I got off the stage.
So then I tipped the singer one of the $500 chips.
Yeah, we did. Thank you for your troubles.
Well,
I felt so bad for the scenario that we were in there.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to karaoke anymore, but I don't drink anymore, so I'm probably safe now from karaokeing. But
Well, this wasn't really a karaoke. This was a live band playing.
oh, that's a little different.
Yeah, it was a tad bit different. He made it all the way.
Well, you know, I'm glad you guys had a good time there. I can't believe, you know, you got DQ'd, but again, those things happen, and like you said, it was a hometown race, and One propeller can make a big difference. I know that.
We
Yeah.
had the right one on.
Yeah, a buddy of mine had some propeller issues in the Ozarks, and from what Uncle Billy said, there was a suspect drive too. But I didn't ask any questions. So the
That was
Kulak
a-
cartel's sitting at the top of the points in the IHRA.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to be in Sheboygan.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be there, and that's kind of the deal. You know, everybody's saying, "Hey, let's not go to Sheboygan. Let's not go." I don't think they're. I don't know if they're obviously not sitting first or in contention. I. And I think that means some stuff to our sponsors. They got us here and everything. We can't just not go to this. Not that we wouldn't, but I mean that means a lot to them. I'm waiting to find out. I made a Facebook post to ask Dustin Faring earlier about what was the payout for the national championship, if that exists. We since Sheboygan is the national championship, what's that look like? Is it a 2-day race, 1-day race? We kind of don't have many details, and unfortunately in the sport, and I guess you can say in any sport, but the longer they stay quiet, the more the rumor mill breeds, and that's probably not healthy, but it is what happens because we all talk on the phone. And at the end of the day, look, we just want to go. We need to make signs that say, have boat, we'll race it.
Right.
I mean, that's really all that we want to do at the end of the day.
Right.
We want to go.
But again, it was a platform they brought out that we did like. That they were doing the tow money, they were doing a prize purse on the top 3 on the podium. Those are all good things. That still needs to be a conversation somewhere at some point. So and then Mr. Saris chimed in, Team Saris, and said if we stay in the non-party district, it's cheaper, and he's right. I stay at mile marker 21.
Mr. Saris may not drink heavily, you
Well,
know.
Everybody has their own vice, right?
You know?
But I understand what he's saying. If you look around,
No,
you can
sure.
find other places, and I get it. But still, when the mayor came in and did the thing, I just think that, especially and look at this. What if it was only Key West? Like I forget what you said. The economic impact was over 30 million.
38
I know that's what they said. But even if you sliced off just $1 million, and you divide it between how many boats were there last year, guys? 92?
Yeah.
3.5 hour wait to get craned in. So, I mean, to me, call me crazy. I just think there should be something for the little guys. I know at the end of the day, the big guys, they're going to go run. I get it. You can afford it. You got big companies and they're doing great things. And that's great because the sport needs them too. But what did Atlantic City just prove to us? Class?
I love blackjack.
Dustin?
I need to brush up on my Sublime songs.
No, that the as someone said, the supporting cast of characters,
Yes.
Yeah.
the racers, the guys
No.
that come, they showed up. They were 62% strong for that race.
No, that you can't. And look, that class 7, I know everybody starts there, and look, we started there and we moved up quick, and look, it's a huge money thing, and we were blessed to be able to do it. But I would love if somebody called me right now and said, "Go get in a class 7 boat for a race." I mean,
I got asked and I said I don't think I could do it.
No, that I wouldn't let my son in a class 7 boat right now. Like if my son was 16 years old and said, "Dad, I want to go in a class 7 boat," we're gonna think about this. I mean, it's ballsy.
Scott from Safe Cash asked me if I would run that. I said, "Buddy, I'm sorry, I can't."
Well, I met Bad Max, great guy. He builds like fire escape stairs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Trustin ran with him in Cocoa.
He didn't have a throttle man that morning at Cocoa Beach, and him and I got to talking, and I said, "Well, I'd throttle up. I guess I'll get in." I looked at the boat, like, man, am I gonna fit in there with my jacket on? Like, serious? I'm a big dude. I've lost some weight, but I'm looking at it, and then the guys come down from Piston Broke, and he's like, "Oh, you'll fit right in, man. You'll be good." But
They're
thank God
awesome.
the good Lord intervened, and Big Chris didn't have to get in that boat. Somebody else he had asked at the drivers' meeting said they'd do it. So
Kirk Hanna's son, Trustin, did it.
okay,
Yeah, Trustin went in it, and me and Jay went over there and set the boat up and
Yeah.
moved all the weight and made sure it was good for him.
Yeah, I think I walked over and told you thank you.
Yeah, we wanted the kid to be safe in it.
Yeah, that was it. And I just thanked you for like, this is great because now I can go put my jacket away and not worry about that. Because after the first 15 minutes, I was like, I even drove out to like look and what am I thinking?
Hey, we're talking about safe and races. Did y'all see the post today that the guy in the fountain got in a wreck this weekend? What's his name?
Chris Colson.
Chris Colson. Did you see that post he put out? I don't know if you put it, but I thought it was very good.
I think I did, and I had already spoke to Andy Foster, who I call a friend. The guys from the Brits, great guys, and thank God that they walked away. The windshield, Dustin, you and I talked about that. Windshields in these boats are they're killers if they fail.
But no, I think he put out a good post today. Kind of, it was a roadmap of what happened, and looking at it, and look, that was a total different picture that we saw live. We kind of thought, that it almost looked like, the what's the name of their race team, Chris's race team?
Shocker.
It looked like Shocker made a U-turn, and almost went straight at him. And that really kind of wasn't what happened. And so I sent him a text, or a message about, thanks for putting that out, because that isn't what we saw. Your eyes played trick on you. And he sent back, and it's hard to sit there and read what everybody's telling you that doesn't own a boat, what you should have done, or what's supposed to happen at 80 miles an hour. And that third pin on that northern turn was an absolute doozy. We almost spun out there. Felt like every time we turned it, but
so that's the third time that's happened with him.
Yeah.
That's not the first time. It was the first time he got a pass. It was the third time. So I feel something should be done about it.
Well, I heard, again, rumors.
Yeah.
I heard he came out of his seat, was kind of throttle man side, like has happened to other guys in boats. And, looking at the way it was, the drives may have still been, kind of cocked when he came back down from whatever. But again, it's a racing incident. I know there's been more than one incident, but I was, I'm not the judge or the jury on any of that. But Kyle, I understand your point. Dustin, I understand your point. Racing incidents are going to happen. We all know that getting in. So let's give Reverend Jim a shout right now, because when that man shows up, he prays for all of us. He finds everybody on the dock somehow. I don't know how he does it.
Hey, he tells me he loves me, so
he does.
I don't know if I'm special, or did you get that, Dustin? Ha ha ha.
He tells me he only prays for me.
See, this is what I love about you two. You can just keep ribbing each other. But seriously, Kyle, when Reverend Jim tells you he loves you and prays with you, how good do you feel getting in your boat?
I feel really good.
Right, because you got right with God.
Yeah,
you know what you're doing. You know where you're at. You know what can happen. You've lost friends.
Oh yeah.
But yet you're still here. You're doing it. You're participating.
I got to give a shout out to Bobby from Dirty Money. He's texting me and yelling at me, you better give me a shout out. So shout out, Bob. We already have a special guest, Bobby. I don't know who it is, but you can't come on here unless Chris allows you to.
Bobby Adams, 23 minutes ago. Where's my shout out? Bill Pyburn, what are you drinking?
Hello, everybody.
I'll be honest. I love Bill Pyburn's been so good to me. His whole team, Bobby, TJ, Britt, their wives.
We got to see a different Bill Pyburn this weekend, man.
Yeah,
Bill was relaxed.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Bill had a great time. You know, I was taking a nap and I woke up and somebody rubbing my head in my hotel room. It was Pyburn that snuck in there and was messing with me. You know, it was fun to see old Daddy Pyburn relax and taking it easy this weekend.
I texted him Sunday night, and I texted him a picture of him and Britt with their flags, and I said, driver suit 600, designer sunglasses 300.
Here we go, boys!
Hey, flip flops in the picture up at the podium, priceless.
Yeah.
See, Bobby figured it out. He didn't remember. He's got a link on his phone. He's in my special category, like you guys will be now. So, Bobby Adams from Dirty Money has joined us, and hopefully he's in a condition to join us.
I am. We just I want to touch on something though on this.
Jesus.
On the accident.
No, we're not going back to the accident. We're not going to the accident.
No. On the Mod V one, the shocker one.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is that what you guys were just
Bill
talking
calling
about?
me, telling me you talked about the accident.
Yeah.
No, I thought, you know, as looking at it, like I thought it would have been a little bit more professional for those guys to at least go and apologize to the guys in the Mod V or whatever that thing is, Class 4.
Class 4, yeah.
But I know they didn't hear anything from the shocker guys in the beginning, that night into the next day. And with something as serious as an accident like that, even going and checking in on people, you know, kind of where I stand with that. I mean, I kind of like watching Kyle run into Dustin and, you know, tear their shit up a little bit here and there, but, you know, just don't touch Kirk's boat, all right? It's too nice.
Hey, Bobby, since you just joined us for a quick minute, are you guys getting busy on that Super Cad and that Class 1 boat for the Michigan City?
Well, we're working hands on the Class 1 boat. There's a lot of work to be done there. Bill's got a 3-page Apple Notes list of items that he wants done, and then there's a need list that's probably about like this long now. It has to have. Working on getting some of the stuff wrapped and everything right now as well.
Can we keep
So
that
it's
thing all white?
start moving forward.
That's great. Hey, Kyle,
Yeah, no, we want to show off it off, Dustin.
Kyle, I need to give you a shout out. Damon chimed in from Fuel One. Nothing but good things to say about you guys. He's just said he's been dealing with some gremlins. Speed Marine did a fantastic job, and they want to see you in St. Clair there, Dustin, and they're hoping that you guys show up too. But Kyle, will we see your team in St. Clair?
Maybe. But I'll tell you what, if I'm not there, Dustin's going to have his hands full because that Fuel 1 boat, it's fast.
Oh no, ain't no doubt. I caught a glimpse of it out my left eye, and Coco, he was right there, coming, man. And look, it really. Me and Owen sat there when they were trying to get that thing started out, and me and Owen had the conversation. You know, I may be a little tender-hearted or hopeless romantic, but you know, I hate watching bad things happen to good people. And Mike Gerard and Prada Murata are two of the coolest people, man. I mean, as far as reserving my wife a spot to watch the race this Sunday and everything, that Fuel Team one from the photographer on down, that's just some great people. And I think when they do get it figured out or they get it straight, it's all hell's gonna break loose. So,
I agree with you. They're well, and let's give the. I never gonna say it. NMBRV. I feel like Bob Teague. NMBRVresorts.com. He's right behind you in the points with 355, buddy. So you don't have a lot of rooms for you and Owen to be making mistakes. And if I was a gambling man, which I'm usually not, I'd have to say we're gonna have 2 days of race against Sheboygan. But I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know how that works with the permits and all that. But you would think it'd be a Saturday, Sunday.
yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, Kirk and them are, you know, hey, look, we capitalized on some of Kirk's mishaps. You know, hey, we'll be there. We'll be ready to run. We'll have a little more seat time underneath us, and in the little Cajun rocket, she's ready to go. So
I hope it's fast.
So
because that's up here right
Hey,
now.
so-
Getting worked on.
Redbeard's chimed
So,
in, Dustin.
Well, I got
Redbeard.
both you guys on the phone. I got to tell you what I did.
Oh boy.
Don't be mad at me. On my way out, I stuck my fingers on Kirk's boat right before y'all went out and raced, and he asked me how it felt, and I was doing it just to put fingerprints on it because it was so perfect. And I told him that he's got a good shot at winning, and sure as shit, he went out there and won. So, sorry, Dustin, Kyle, you did your own thing.
Hey.
That's on you.
Hey,
You gave him the old Bobby blessing. You know what is this about, Bob?
I did.
Hey, you're gonna love this. So Rowdy texts from his mama's iPad just now. Red boat going down. Got a 7-year-old talking shit from his mama's iPad right now.
Oh, that's great.
Your son is a trip, man. For the
Yeah,
folks
man.
at home that don't know, Dustin's talking about his son Rowdy. And if you watch the New Orleans race, Dustin gets out of the boat, looks like Mike Tyson just kicked his ass, bleeding. But then him and the boy, you guys jumped into Lake Pontchartrain.
We did not jump. Bobby threw me in the lake.
You're a nice guy, Bobby.
I did.
That was you. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But no, hey, look,
Maybe.
talking about my
It
son.
was to clean the blood off your head, Dustin.
You know, Rowdy rode that whole race with Rick Lindsay, invited him in the helicopter.
Did he have a headset on?
He was not spotting. I want to make that clear. He was not spotting. And if he did, it did us no good. No, but
Are you
Rowdy,
sure?
Rowdy rode that whole race. But me and Kyle talked before we came on right here, man. Rowdy and Lil Kyle's son, hit it off, man. And it was fun just to watch them run around the pits and kind of, it was the only bad thing about Atlantic City for the kids. It was very minimal what they could do. The pool closes at 2 for kids, and that's adults only. So our two sons hooked up, and they just became two menaces together. So it was awesome.
There was a whole there was a whole posse of those boys running in and out of the motorhomes on the docks. I think there was like 6 or 7 of them.
I think that's some of the best stuff. Kyle wants to know where's it at? Where's Chippy? Kyle, where is Chippy?
Who asked that question?
Connor Queenan. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. And then Redbeard Dustin, he wants to know if anybody's answered you from the IHRA.
No.
With a laughing face.
No, I don't know who to call. Well, let's hit Chippy first. So, does anyone know who Chip Foose is?
Yes.
I do.
So Chip Foose is one of the greatest fabricators of all time. My Throttleman Jay has this gift of giving nicknames. And he has different nicknames for different occasions. So Chippy is short for Chip Foose because I do all the custom fabrication at the shop. Rom Burgundy, he'll call me because my hair is big. He just comes up with all kinds of stuff. But that's where Chippy comes from. My wife, she calls me some other nicknames.
Your wife just texted me and told me I better touch the green X-ray, so we're fighting.
We got to get Pyburn to get you a Starlink, brother.
Yeah. We got to find
I'm
that.
in my truck.
We got to find that in the budget.
We,
We're
but
still
no,
working over here.
Tell Redbird.
Yeah.
So I did make a phone call to IHRA today, and made it to my buddy over there, which is Shane Landis, and Shane did get someone to return my phone call about the payment, and she said one check's in the mail and they're going to direct deposit another check. As far as responding about the Sheboygan deal from Dustin Foring, I have not received a response back. And look, and while we're talking about it, I mean, I think the elephant in the room, it seems like to us powerboat racers that that IHRA might just want to move forward with jet skis and kind of scrap the powerboat program, and that's kind of what we're. It's cheaper to put on that. It's easier to produce. I mean, we could go to my hunting camp. I got a 50-acre lake, and we could do it out there. We'll charge everybody that crosses the cattle guard a gate fee, So that's kind of the vibe or the feeling that we have is what's going to happen. We're just kind of being we're kind of being let down slowly, So
I would hope that's not the case, but you're right. And with no answers being given, I mean, I never saw a real press release about Andrew being let go. I mean, unless I missed it. But again, I don't spend all day on my phone either. I got a lot going on. Um, but
we're having this talk. We're having this talk, and I'm sitting. I'm in my office at one of my bars, and there's a bar people out there that all cheer on this powerboat racing, and every day I've got to ask, hey man, we're booking a hotel, we want to go here, we want to go here to watch you, and I've got to be like, well hold on, we don't know if that race is happening yet. And what other sport does that happen in?
um,
Like does I mean I know we're not LSU football, we're not the Saints, we're not Philadelphia. I mean, what other does it like? Hey, look, I know that's a game on the schedule, but that probably is not going to happen. And it seems pretty common in this sport.
Well, apparently it happens in drag racing too now.
well, since you said that, yeah, we had tickets for Milan. I had made other plans because Michael Knobloch at American Custom Marine got with us, and we're going to be in Boyne Thunder with them this year. They're having a big VIP deal, and Bobby left, and I'm excited for that. But Milan got canceled. Some other drag races got canceled. So you got to wonder what's going on. And then I know there was discussions in the Ozarks about money, But this is a league. Look, you're talking about all the guys in boat racing right here chiming in, watching us.
CJ.
There's about 100 of us that do this, right? 100 teams. If you really got all the boats out together, Kyle, Dustin, there's maybe about 100 boats that could participate in total in all the classes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to agree with Vinny Diorio that said last year in Chicago when we did those interviews and Rick Lindsay and X Insurance produced all those little infomercials, the build up for that, which was pretty cool, said that he feels like we have a little more to offer than the NBA, the NFL, or the MLB right now. And I agree with him because, all of us, and I don't want to exclude anybody because any of us could get killed. We've seen that. But especially the Bill Pyburns, the Billy Moffs, the Jays, the Chris Grant, all these guys, you guys in your Mod Vs, because you don't have an escape hatch on the bottom, right?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, we
do that.
all do this and realize what could happen. So I just feel like the conversation has to be had. And if Key West is the end all be all, Bobby was doing some from Red Rum was doing some math and shot it to me. It's if they took 1 million from what they say, the economic impact number is that's less than 3% to the racers. That seems pretty insignificant to me. And I'm not the smartest guy in business, but I am in business, and I know if there's a way that you help your people, it will just make you that much more elevated and greater.
Let's face facts here. Unless they want to do it, and when I say they, I mean the sanctioning bodies. Unless they want to do it, it ain't going to get done. Because anybody in their right mind, say Dustin here, Louisiana is going to give them $1 million, which I'm sure it's nowhere close. And please don't anybody take that in any kind of way. But say Louisiana was going to give him $1 million to run that boat. He's not going to share it with the organization. That's his money to race with. So Larry and Roderick, and I don't know who's in charge at IHRA now, so whatever.
I don't think anybody does.
Those guys need to go out and pound on the doors and bring the money in for the sport. That's the only thing that's going to grow us. The next problem with it is, how do you watch it? It's not on television. It's on YouTube. Sometimes you get a great live stream and it's unbelievable. Other times it's so bad that you can't even watch it. So to make the sport stable and equitable and marketable, we need to start at square one and rebuild it. And these new guys coming out of the woodwork, it's tough. Larry and Roderick and all those guys, they've been in this game for quite a while now. I remember when I was racing OPA back in the day and in the Stock V that I got a phone call. I believe it was Dan Cision. Hey, will you come race with us? I said, no, I'm the OPA guy. I'm staying here. That I'm a loyal guy, you know. Well, we're going to have this and we're going to have that. And I do have to say, through all of that, they weren't lying. They really did achieve it. And I think they did a good job at it. Now it's time that IHRA came. I don't want to say it this way, but, you know, we got to get moving here. We got to market this thing. We got to get it going, or it's all going to implode. That's what my fear was with IHRA. IHRA is going to come in. They're buying every single racetrack out there. What happens if IHRA bought OPA and RWO? They bought P1, so that's gone already. If they bought RWO and OPA, and then all of a sudden decided, we don't want to do this anymore, boat racing's over.
We're left with nothing.
That's the scary part of this. As much as I was on the bandwagon to support IHRA, I kept telling everyone, hey, don't forget about RWO. We're not getting any money. I get it. But when you go to one of their events, the safety's good. The scheduling is good. I would say it's within 15 or 20 minutes of your time. The scheduling is good. Everything goes off without a hitch. You know, Roderick at the meetings in the morning, it's all around a great organization, and their mistake was letting the fox in the hen house. That IHRA trailer sitting out on that mole was the worst thing, in my opinion, that could have possibly happened.
But they paid them for it. They paid them for the spot.
I agree. And I'm not saying. What I'm trying to say is, their answer to them should have been no, and they should have kept going in their direction. Instead, they started this whole new organization. That's pretty much what happened, because IHRA went there and put the show on. They started this whole new organization, and everybody fell in love with it, including myself. I saw that trailer there, and I was like, wow.
I filmed it coming in. I know what you're talking about.
I said, this is some next level stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
My team never races a whole schedule. The majority of my crew have jobs except for my employees. We're busy. I may or may not go to St. Clair because we're busy. My shop is slammed. I have numerous businesses. I can't just leave and hit every race on this. I've never been able to do it. But we really wanted to show our support to the IHRA thing. And from what I saw from it, it was like literally a blatant slap in the face. I consider myself a veteran racer. My partner Jay's been racing since 2008. The way we were treated there and the embarrassment that we got there, I went up to Shane after it because he was the only guy I could find. I said, Shane, who do I talk to about this? Oh, you got to talk to Gary Stray. I called Gary Stray. Gary Stray was beyond helpful, did anything in his power to help me, but it wasn't his call. It was Teague's call. I called Teague 10 times, no answer, no nothing. So at this point, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do with them. I just want to race my boat and not be involved in any politics.
Well, with all that being said, I believe a cool thing this year, as screwed up as it is, because we had a lot of races on the schedule that IHRA is canceling, but do an early season, what IHRA just did. Do that, and then end. If you're going to end in Sheboygan, and then let RWO pick up. I believe IHRA was kind of, and look, I may be speaking out of turn, but I feel like the Miami thing just a couple weeks before the Key West deal was kind of out of spite, and just kind of because we had to have a Worlds, because everybody's got a Worlds. Well, now we seem like the little kids that's shaking cans at the four-way up here. We're going to the World Series, and then we're raising money, and then next week we'll go to a different World Series, and then next week we'll go to a different one.
Well, ultimately, what was their goal? That's to
squeeze out RWO.
And my thing was, and every time that schedule changes and that wheel spins and it becomes a moving target, the teams are left holding the bags. And I know there was a lot of guys that had houses in St. Clair rented, Verbos, or whatever, that had to cancel.
I do. I still have one.
If you don't come, we need to talk, because I'm with a guy that wants to go there. Our boat's at American Custom Marine. So, you know, I love that little venue. That I'll tell you what,
And that's
it is
another that's another thing that just increased costs is that you
oh
can't plan
wow.
you can't plan
So
anything in advance.
so we've just been joined by Cade Wilson from Sterling Engines, and Cade's been telling me he wants to play in the Mod V world.
Oh man, hey Kyle, Dustin, you guys are two of my favorite people. So I saw you were on, and then of course, Chris said, "Hey, you got to come get in on this too." But anyways, man, first of all, Kyle, thank you for buying me dinner the other night, man. That was totally class. And then Dustin, thank you for buying me dinner back in New Orleans along with everybody else. So I
Yeah,
always
you guys
appreciate
getting
it.
free meals. What am I doing wrong? God darn.
That's it, man. You got to be at the race to do that. So
Well, I've only missed the one, Cade.
yeah, there you go.
Well,
No, it's
I've
been
only
a good
been to two.
discussion. I've been. What's that?
I said I've only been to two, so don't feel bad.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah. So no, it's a good discussion, guys. I'm feeling the same stuff. I'll share that I've seen all this kind of stuff happen before between SCCA, NASA, IMSA over in the autosport world, and it's part of why I got involved with the Detroit Region Board of Directors. I got elected on there for a while and tried to do some work helping save some of the Formula Car classes. But it's kind of unfortunate because you do have to really get involved at the maximum level in order to, just keep our sport alive. So, um, some stuff that resonated with me. I kind of said this analogy before. I think RWO has been doing a good job, but they've been grassroots guys for a long time. It's kind of like they've been giving us meatloaf, mom's meatloaf forever, and it's good meatloaf. But IHRA kind of came along, held out the steak, and we got excited, and then they kind of snatched the steak back. So since we're going with food analogies tonight, but I would say one thing I wanted to share with Chris, because I do want to play in Mod V. If Sterling can ever get to the point where we can afford to do our own race team, that's where I'd probably go. So excited, obviously, to be in Supercat because that's what we support. But one of the things I think I'll be the first to do it. I'll say I want to put some contingencies on the line in a couple classes, help racers out a little bit. I'm talking with Larry about how to do that, and I think if more companies step up and try and do that kind of thing, I think it'll help. I mean, I know you've got a class program over there, Kyle. I know that some of the marinas in the area have been sponsoring individual boats, but I think what I saw in Autosport was it was kind of like us racers had to kind of go fix the program for ourselves. Like we could see it more clearly than the guys who are doing the organizing.
So when you
So
say fix the program for ourselves, could you tell us how you would fix the program? Because I've been trying
yeah,
for quite a while, and
no.
I would love your input.
No, I think you're right on a lot of it. I mean, I think it's number one. It's well, some of it is getting them to listen. We're not. I don't necessarily feel that we've had great listening coming, but part of it is new venues and getting money behind it, just like you pointed out. And I do think that there's something to be done with the cost. I don't. When I look at the two organizations, IHRA made a big thing about, hey, we're going to give all these prizes to racers, and then it turns out they really can't afford it either. I have the feeling that RWO can't afford to give prizes to racers. So then it's hitting the bricks and everybody pulling their connections and say, look, we want to put contingency prizes, we want to put stickers on boats, we want to do something different. I sent an email over or a text message and stuff over to Larry here today saying, hey, I think a place like Cedar Point, amusement park would be an amazing venue because yeah, I mean the water's going to be flat, but on the other hand, you're going up and down the Strand. You've got an amusement park right there. You've got all the amenities. You can bring the family out, and they're going to. So we got to look for new venues that are just outside the norm and where they'll promote for us. Great thing about a place like that would be, you don't deal with the town council who doesn't understand our sport. You deal with businessmen who want to put eyeballs on something. So I feel like we got to find the right people and we got to think a little bit outside the box. So
I,
there's my 2 cents.
I definitely agree with that. I think that's really good, and I think you and your partner are great for the sport, and we're super happy to have you guys. And anything that you ever need help with, we're here for you.
Well,
I
I
I
think
knew you guys would be, man. You're
I
good
think
people.
that's great.
I
Oh my God, these
yeah.
guys! I'm gonna have to
TJ,
check.
all right, we're getting it's a proper group
Ah,
chat.
Jeez. No,
hang on there a second, TJ.
I think any eyes that the how to live. I remember last year. I think that was in New Orleans or somewhere where you guys and Wicket tapped, and Mr. T kind of got upset with y'all for putting that on Facebook, that video. And
Yeah.
and look, and let's look while we're talking about it. We could just say this is kind of the old school thought that's going with it. You know, y'all were asked to take that video down, and because you know it was derogatory. It wasn't derogatory. It was two teams that tapped boats. Both of them were fine with the
Yeah.
video, but the thing's got 6 million views now, and that's 6 million people that wouldn't say something about a New Orleans boat race. You know,
You're not wrong.
that's
You know?
where we're at now, and just kind of look. I think you know they definitely bring. You know, there's a lot to go with institutional knowledge. I'm not singling out Mr. Teague, but I'm just, you know, there's something that some younger guys. Hey, look, you know, they can bring some things to the table, and there are some new shiny stuff that we can offer. You know, as far as sponsors, social media, just some other, just some outside, some new outside eyes, shall I say?
I think outside eyes, that's all about it. And I'm with you on that. That little tap was just kind of, it was just a racing incident, right? You know, we thought the door was open. They didn't see us back there. And yeah, I know but it shows you what's about. You know, I told my wife when she's like, why are you going getting in a race boat? And obviously I'm about building my business, you know, and you know, I said, if I got to be a gladiator for a year or two in order to help turn this business around, I'll do it. And that's it. We're kind of in a gladiator. We're in the arena. We're the gladiators. We're the show. Let's let people know about it because it's a freaking cool sport, man.
Well,
Well-
let me ask you this, Gladiator. Since you've been in this amount of time, are you going to be done in 1 or 2 years, or did you fall in
I
love
sure
with it?
hope not. I fell in love with it. Like, I'll race anything you give me. You guys go put me on a scooter. We'll go race. I don't care. I want to race. I love to race stuff, man. I mean,
Speaking of guys that love racing stuff, let's welcome TJ Rand from Dirty Money.
Oh,
He's
boy.
the crew chief
What up,
over
boys?
there.
oh,
You're in the dark, buddy. I don't know what's going on. You might need to pay your electric bill. It is the
Yeah,
first.
as long as I got
shirt
good
on.
internet, I'm all right.
Well, I told Bobby, Bill needs to invest in some Starlink for you guys.
Seriously.
We only have about 14 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, plug one in.
I know.
Welcome to the show. We're talking everything offshore, about the Atlantic City event and how everybody felt about it. Talking about St. Clair a little bit. I know you guys won't be in St. Clair, but we do now know you will be 2 boats strong in Michigan City. That's a fact, eh, boys?
Yeah, it was the worst kept secret. I even talked to Dustin, and he was asking me a couple questions about it, and I felt bad, but I was more scared of Bill than I was of Dustin.
Well,
So-
I shook Bill's tree last Tuesday when
And
I
I told
texted
him
him.
I told him when I saw him, I said, "You're a terrible liar." I didn't want to keep asking you questions because I didn't want to make you keep lying to me. You
Bill's
know?
just sneaky.
Man,
He claimed
And
that they
he-
were off one day doing nothing. You know, we were just sitting around doing nothing. And I
Bobby
knew that
blames it
wasn't
on
the case.
dyslexia. They got the cities mixed up.
yeah,
So
you know, it was a grind for sure, but Atlantic City was fun. I really liked that layout. I mean, it was great seeing the Mod V race. I mean, Kyle and North Myrtle Beach going at it. That was pretty cool. I don't know what happened to Dustin, man.
well, we were talking
Come
about
on.
that. TJ, the show was Mod V. The show was Mod
man,
V
just
and
twist the
Mod
knife
V
on him.
and all classes. So
Even when Kyle beats me, he really doesn't.
Yeah.
I still can't. Even when Kyle beats me, he doesn't.
like it's like a default.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that was the best race of the weekend. That's for sure. That was a fun one to watch. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I don't mean to be stealing your thunder, rain on your parade kind of stuff. I think you guys are right on the money. And I tell you, you guys over in Mod V, that looks like a fun class, great place to play. And obviously, I love you guys. You're awesome racers, all of you. Even you, TJ, pain in the ass, but you guys are all good people.
Shamelessly plug your business because you want to play in the Mod V world, and I know you want to.
Yeah. So we've got some requests. I think we got 4 requests out there for Mod V Motors. We're eager to partner up with some teams and start playing in Mod V. We used to play there a long time ago. It's important to me to diversify across more classes besides just, Super Cat and Pleasure Boat. So, yeah, I mean, I know Kyle will take care of you also. He's a Mod V builder, so I don't want to just jump all over his stuff. So there's a couple of us good builders out there. We're one of them. So anyway, Sterling Engines. And
He's so nice, this guy.
He's
I was going to say, he's coming on my
I'm a Texan, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a Texan. I'm not out
he's
to.
coming on my thing, trying to steal my thunder in my class. And then he says something like that. I can't even say anything mean about it. He's so nice.
This guy has changed the company at Sterling Engines, folks. That's your new face at Sterling. This man, and let me just tell the story, Cade. That's how him and Mike Howe kind of Mike Howe learned
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Cade Wilson was when Cade honored engines he didn't build. He inherited that mess and made it right with them. And Mike
Yeah.
Howe was, impressed. You didn't have to do that, Cade, but you did it because that's the kind of guy
Yeah.
you are. And that's
Well,
why.
thanks, man. Well, and I'm gonna say right back at you, Kyle. I've gotten to know you, and I've seen you're a class guy. And honestly, it doesn't make sense for me to try and build every engine in the class. We need to have good competition out there. So yeah, I would say let's have a friendly competition. You build some good stuff. We're gonna try and build some good stuff, and let's get out there and have some fun together. So
Well,
yeah.
it won't only be in one class. It's going to be in Super Cap too.
All right, that's right. I did hear that. So yeah, we're gonna get to duke it out. All right, man. Cool.
Cade.
That was fun. All right, take care, guys. Yep.
You too.
All right. Cheers.
So, Kyle, with that being said, a lot of folks don't know it at home. You got a Super Cat sitting in your shop.
Oh yeah, I do.
Well, let's tell everybody about it because not everybody knows.
It's big. It's green. It's on a tilt trailer, and I hope one day I could grow up and beat TJ and Mr. Bill and Bobby.
And who's your sponsor?
Me.
Your pockets.
Yeah. So it's taken a little longer than we wanted. To be honest with you guys, all jokes aside, my shop's so busy. I mean, we're slamming trying
Big
to.
problem to have.
Yeah, we're slamming trying to get this thing done, and it's difficult. Everything's got to be made. We got one set of engines done sitting on the engine stands. You really can't go on one set of engines. You really need at least one spare. So we're trying to get the other spare together. We're working on redressing them now. It's a lot of work. The boat had like 2 or 3 paint jobs on it. We sanded all the paint off it, got it as true as we could, painted it our beautiful green, and it's almost time. We
What
made
boat
custom.
was it, Kyle?
Liquor Split,
Liquor Split.
and back in the day it was Talking Trash. It's actually funny. So my guys, Jay used to crew for Talking Trash back in the day. All my friends used to be part of that crew, and then we ended up with the boat, which is really cool. But TJ knows how much work it is, and they got full-time guys on their stuff there. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
When I first talked with TJ and he told me their program, it's impressive.
It's more than impressive. It's unheard of.
I'm looking forward to seeing see Kyle's Super Cat run. At the back end, I was with it was at Gary Stray's shop a little bit, and we did a little bit of work on it, and so it's cool to see it. Kyle and Jay, what they've transformed it into to see it run. So instead of just
so what a lot of people don't know, the majority of us are super tight. Like I vacation with TJ before, Bobby, Pyburn.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody knows me and Lily are really tight, but we're all a tight-knit group. So anything that we need, these guys have reached out to us numerous times to help us. And I can't thank them all enough. But it's a strange scenario because we're all really tight now, and then I'm going to be a competitor against them. But at the same time, me and Kurt are like absolute best friends. And
yeah, I was gonna say you and Kurt are really, really close.
Yeah, so
and you guys were going deck to deck. That race was so. I mean, when you guys were driving behind him and stuff like that, like that was a good show. Like that was.
I gotta tell you, he raced me a little harder than I think he should have. I don't think I would have done him like that. But as they say, payback's a bitch, and I'm gonna get him.
What would you have not done?
I don't want to get into that.
You wouldn't have closed the window on him?
Yeah, why are you trying to throw stones, buddy?
Man,
I mean, I had the best seat in the house for the whole race.
You were always stirring the pot. You got a big spoon out. You like this all the time with that pot by your bus.
What do you guys do out there? Jambalaya or gizzards or something? What do you do?
Anything, bro.
That's what the spoon's for.
All right, guys, I'm going to bed.
Hey, TJ, thanks for your time.
Good night. I thought it would be funny to hop on here.
Dirty Money's been impressive to watch what you guys bounced back from. So
yeah, team effort all the way around.
Yeah, that's true.
See y'all.
Next time, get some better Wi-Fi, okay, bud?
I got good Wi-Fi. What do you mean?
You're a little grainy. I'm just saying.
Oh, all right. I'll have to upgrade to some fiber or something.
Yeah, all right. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
See ya.
No, I think with us all joking around here, the relationships are just are crazy. You do race against each other, but you're and look, even about an hour before racing, everybody kind of goes to their own little camp. We give each other a hug on the dock, and then wish each other the best of luck. But we've this sport's allowed us to meet some really cool people. I mean, look, I've in our brief time, I bought my 7 boat from the Buis family. If I'd have never met the Buis family, um, where would we be now?
That
Would we be?
that family is unbelievable. I love Nick.
They're a great
They're,
family.
they're absolutely wonderful. I wrote looking for a Class 7 boat, and Mama Buis was the first person to write something. She wrote, "I think we have one," and,
Yeah.
and I kept pressuring it, and I got Nick on the phone, and 40. If you ever talk to Nick on the phone, 45 minutes later, Nick explained to me that he would help me and go through things, and look, he did, and we got that boat, and I said, man, I kind of want to get in a canopy, and they had that, and I kind of pitched a deal with Owen, riding with Owen, and the first time me and Owen rode together, I kind of went on the back of another guy up in Clearwater, and I didn't know if Mama was going to let that happen. So first time we rode together, and she let it happen. So we found some success. But no, Statement Marines, been great to us. They take care of the boat between races. I mean, Nick and them have had some bad luck in that
Insurance boat.
the ex insurance boat, and I hate that because I consider myself part of that whole team with them. So they have a bad day, we have a bad day, it kind of really affects Owen. I'll sit there and watch his dad flipping a boat, and I couldn't imagine it, and then they park that super stock clothes. It just kind of kills the mood on things, as it should. So now we appreciate the Buis family for letting me have the boat and let me have their other baby, Owen. So
There's just great people in the whole sport, no matter which series you go to. If you go to an OPA race like St. Clair, the way it's been, you go to a Hopicon, Jay Muller's race over there. There's just so many good people, man. Logan's Heroes, they're
That's
great
cool,
people. You got all these different characters, I call them, and it's just a good group of people. And I know we all come back for the right reasons, but I appreciate you guys and having the tough conversations and some of the guys chiming in, but it needs to be had, right, Kyle? It's been this.
I would absolutely agree.
Right.
If we wanted to get better, listen, in my opinion, we physically really can't do anything, us as racers, to make it better. But at least, you're giving us the platform here, and thanks for having us on here. You're giving us the platform that I could get my opinion out. I could get my true feelings out on what I think these guys need to do to make the sport better. We've been in this game for quite a while, me and you, and I only want to see it grow. As far as I'm concerned, I committed my life to this. I can't even tell you how much money I've spent, but from 2012 to now, it's a lot of years. We got a lot of time, and I don't want to see it fail.
Right. Well, I'm going to date it back to 2001, and I'm going to go back to the day I met Kyle Dietzen, that I now throttle for, and he was brought to me by Formula, where he worked, and put in as a driver for me at the Corpus Christi race, and it was actually the day we lost Jack Harmony, and I'll never forget it, man. I think there was 17 or 18 of us in a line, bro, going to that first pin. And the rules weren't like they are today about hold your lane or whatever. It was
that Factory 1?
Factory 2.
Factory 2? Yeah.
I ran another boat for a name Herbot doesn't allow me to say anymore. I'll just call it the 97 boat. And it was a 2-boat team, and he had the one on his boat for that year.
So I was quite young, obviously, around that time, and wasn't in the sport because I hated boats. But watching all the old videos, like Randy from Typhoon,
Yeah.
he brought that kryptonite out there, and Jay knows a lot more about the history than I do. But watching those old videos, they were wild.
Well, how about Rick Termel?
I don't know who that is.
Stainless Marine, the black extreme boat.
Okay.
He was, dude. When he showed up,
These
shit.
guys in open boats, wide open, going into turn one. There's no speed limit. You just it was run what you brung. It was a 500 it started with, then went to a 5 1/4. I'm
Right.
sure there was a gear. Was there a propeller rule?
Man, I don't think there was because Kyle is so good with propellers, and he spins in, and I don't think there was. I mean, I know the motors were factory sealed. I think Allweiss was running the series at the time. I remember that little dude from Chips was the TV announcer with this other girl. But no, it was
So
a true.
so that was televised back then on Speed Vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember being a little boy watching Speed Vision.
Okay, I'm really giving my age up there. Dustin, you're the new guy in the sport on this show tonight. So for your last 2 seasons, where do you see this going?
Tough question.
As
It is.
far as
Because Billy Moff, we sat down in his hauler, okay, and he said, and he's right. There's the 1 to 3 year guy, there's the 3 to 6 year guy, there's the 6 to 9, and then there's a lifer. He's a lifer. 49 years he's been.
It depends how you race.
yeah,
It depends how
I
you
could
race.
I could see myself racing for another 5 years and then owning a boat and being a team owner.
Can I race for you in 5 years?
100%.
Thank you. Me and Jay got the seat. I'm holding you to it.
Well, I got to have a spot for my boy Owen, man. Owen will be graduated high school by then, so we'll have a spot for him.
Maybe he'll have time to join us.
Yeah,
Let's touch base on those two boys really quick.
yes.
I give them such a hard time because they're always together. You got one short one and one tall one. They look the same. They dress the same. They wear the same kind of glasses. They got their sweaters on. They're good looking boys. I tease the shit out of them. They don't deserve it. I take it back.
Owen and Cameron's who he's referring to.
Yeah. I take it back. They beyond impressed me with what they do in Atlantic City. I don't really agree with that call, but it is what it is. And I'm super proud of those boys and where they're going with this. That's next generation. Everyone forgets that. These are the guys that are going to follow in their father's footsteps, and
Right.
And here I am racing a friggin' 16-year-old kid, waxing my ass.
Well, I'll tell you what, that 16, 17-year-old kid's got a pretty damn good resume.
Yeah, he's talented,
Yeah.
but he's got his dad on the radio, and I think his dad's just a tad bit better.
Well, that's unfortunate on that whole little deal, but listen,
No,
let's
time
be honest.
out.
Let's be honest about
Don't-
that whole thing with the community.
Don't get that twisted. That's not what I meant by it.
No, I know what
That's
you.
fine.
Them boys didn't need any help.
No, that had nothing to do with it. Like
Right.
when he's in the Mod V, Nick is on the radio with Owen. That's what I meant
Yeah,
by it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was not
Okay.
bringing JJ in, or I was not doing that.
Okay.
No,
Um,
and look, JJ felt terrible after that call, just like any dad would. It was unfortunate, I mean, hey, look, I told Owen when I found out about Speed's deal, hey, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. We lost a place there, we gained a place in the Mod V deal. It was a screwy deal. It's hard to argue. You won by 55 seconds. You can't really take that away, and I don't think anybody telling you that
Yeah.
a wave's in front of you is going to change that. But hey, if it's a rule and it's in the rule book, it is what it is. I think I got an order of wings that are about to come out here, and so we'll start kind of wrapping this up. My kitchen closes in a little bit over here at Canal Bank Club, but I think one thing that we could take away from this is, if there's a race site or something, if you have a hometown race, and look, this goes to the promoters. Dustin Cluot will do anything he can, and the Cluot Cartel, to help, and we keep saying they need to, and we're all right. They need to do some things, but look, ask us, look, if there is something we can do to help you, if there's a connection that Kyle has in New Jersey that can help them for that race, ask Kyle. You got people on the ground, you got boots on the ground. Tommy Thomasy called me before the New Orleans race, and just short of booking bands for, you know, what band we were going to put. Dustin, you know a good band down there. We don't know good bands. We're not down there. And just, I believe that, you know, start using us a little bit in that sense as your boots on the ground, and to kind of do some advertising or some mark, or where to advertise, you know. We use our network, and I believe we, you know, with all that being said, if there's anything a promoter can, if there's anything they need from us, we'd be more than happy to help them.
Well, and I think that's important to understand. And I've heard a lot of guys say that if they just listen to us, Cade said that, and then
You're going to Cocoa Beach, you're in JJ Turk's backyard. Talk to JJ Turk.
right,
You know? You come to New Orleans, you're 30 minutes down the road from us. Talk to us. It's now even more important to talk to us now that we're backed by this guy, Billy Nungesser, Lieutenant Governor, who lives at the lake,
right.
know, where we're racing.
So pretty much what you're trying to say is there's a racer for every event that has a connection with somebody or something. Utilize us.
100%. I mean, I wouldn't go. We wouldn't go into anywhere blind if we were doing anything else. I mean, there's nothing institutional knowledge or having an inside man. You know, I mean, look, there's, you know, it's. I mean, we used to island hop. You know, one guy on an island, it could save your life, or just, you know, you get anything done. So. I think they could really utilize that.
I want to bring one more thing up that we actually debuted in Atlantic City and it worked well. We're now going to offer racer support. So we're going to bring a crew of guys with us, and certain teams that want to sign on, you know, we're going to get the boats in the water, do the maintenance to the boats, anything that needs to be fixed, we're going to fix. My guys literally worked like around the clock to get Safe Cash going, and I can't thank them enough for doing so. And it was really rewarding for all of us to see them on the podium. But we got quite a bit of engines now going. So we have obviously I had to make a little list because there's so many I forget. So we got Howard Richardson. We built his old boat, did the power in that, set that up. I believe we found about 8 to 9 mile an hour in that boat. We're building his new Extreme, which is in my shop. Obviously, we just did Fuel One, North Myrtle Beach, my boat, Irish Kevin's, Safe Cash, Hartman X Insurance. So we got quite a bit of engines out there. We plan to keep growing, and we want to help everybody grow the sport and support at the same time.
Well, and I got a couple guys that chimed in. Bernie Newhouse sends a congratulations to you, Kyle.
Thank you.
For the cat. And David Herbert said the coverage IHRA provided, the network was really good. So that's just worth noting, that someone from outside saying, hey, you know, that was good. So
IHRA's good coverage allows us to go back to sponsors and say, look at this first class production versus,
Right.
I mean, like last year, and I'll just bring this up, Sheboygan. Last year was our first race in Sheboygan. We were a Class 7 boat, granted. We had a watch party at Blind River Bar, was packed, my other place. We called them after the race and told them we won it. And the answer from the general manager was, y'all raced already? And they were watching the live stream.
Yeah, that's not good.
That was the frustrating part. I get the stuff costs money to have the production, but you know, I mean, the IHRA deal, that, you know, that we painted them a pretty picture with IHRA and their history, and they're a reason that we've got C-Webs, Cajun Boudin, Relief Windows, SKR, Bingo Crane, Louisiana, you know, because they knew IHRA is a household name.
right.
You know, so
You're right. I mean, they've been around a long time, and that new leadership looked promising. And let's be honest, what Leah Martin brought to the table with the production, you know, the vision. I know she had Randy Sizzum, MTI, Tyler Miller. You know, you know, she brought all that, and a lot of guys kind of fought back against her for whatever. But you got to give her some credit for what did happen, right? Because again, we're sitting here talking IHRA, 4 races so far.
the only thing I ever questioned about what Leah Martin did was she gave me a Cadillac V in Lake of the Ozarks, and I think that was a dumb management decision.
Who was towing a boat with one? Because we all got
Yeah, she gave me a
That's why
700 horse Cadillac B. No, she was great, and look, I really think she stepped up. She stepped up the production part of it, and she's the reason we're having this conversation. I think ultimately she's going to force some other people to increase their production or to make theirs better, because we're not going to just take the whole flip phone videoing of races anymore. So she did that, and look, whether I know it costs a lot of money, but there's also, hey, do we spend a lot of money and make this look good so we can go sell it, or do we go beg sponsors and sell them on a dream? You know, so it's the chicken before the egg kind of thing.
Well, you're right. It's got to get figured out. We're having tough conversations. We need to do more of this. We need to get everybody's opinion. I'm glad a Super Cat guy chimed in that owns a business. You know, and again, you know, Kyle, you own businesses. Dustin, you own businesses. So I just think a bunch of like-minded business thinkers should be put together when this is all getting decided, and you know, you bounce these decisions and ideas off of people, and you come up with the best plan of attack, and then you go do it, right?
That's one of the craziest things to sit here and watch is everybody here owns a business. Everybody is a business owner in the boat racing world. Because let's be honest, it costs money. It takes a lot of money and a little bit of sense. All right.
Right.
And we sit there and take stuff and watch things that we would never let happen in any organization we own.
True.
So I have a question for you on that. One of your businesses, would you put a very large sum of money in it, leave it in a bank account, and say, here you go, do what you want?
No.
No, right?
No. I mean,
From what I could see, that's exactly what's transpiring with IHRA. You
right.
pumped a bunch of money into it, said, here you go, guys, do what you want. And I don't know this for sure, so take it with a grain of salt. But what it looks like, he put money into it. Everyone in management that has came and went and is back again and then gone again and the next day is taking this money and doing whatever the hell they want with it. And now there's no money. People can't get paid. They're canceling events, not just in our sport and all the sports. You got to pay
Not the
attention
jet
to
skis.
this. Make it your, not the jet skis. Make it your
I mean,
baby.
listen, call
Love
it
and
what it
cherish
is.
it.
Call it what it is. I mean, just I'm not bashing anybody. Number one,
It's
but I'm
the
just
truth.
saying,
That's why.
the jet skis didn't get canceled, but everything else is getting rearranged. Make it make sense.
With all that being said, they came in with a pretty damn aggressive, you know, and look,
100%.
them canceling
money?
some of
Awesome.
them canceling some of those races. At the end of the day, on the flip side of the coin, that was a bunch of stuff. I mean, we're not NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know, I think Kyle might have said that during one of our Mod V deals, or somebody said it. We can't be in a different town every other week. I mean, that's kind of,
It can't happen.
it can't happen, and you're not
No.
going to get the consistent.
And I
boat
don't think there was any ill will with them with RWO, because let's face it, having that kind of bank account, they could have squashed RW. All they had to do is piggyback the schedule and throw the money. It would have ended them. So I don't think that was their intention. But as far as a business model goes, that's the right one. Kill the competitor and flourish.
Right.
They didn't do it. So I don't know what they're doing, but at the end of the day, I hope it all works out. I hope I get my second place check in the mail tomorrow. Probably not going to happen. I hope Dustin gets what's owed to him, and I hope they put on a hell of a race. I hope Sheboygan is 2 days of racing and has all the coverage and everything's great. I really do. But the reality of that, it's not looking too good.
So will we see a Speed Marine and your crew in Sheboygan if it happens?
Buddy, like I said before, I don't get involved in politics.
Right.
When I'm laying down in bed at night and I'm thinking about this stuff and it's irritating me because of just pure stupidity, I don't know what I want to do. I
Fair.
really don't. And you know, a lot of my crew is my friends and my family. They all have jobs. It's
Right.
like, what happened to us in Cocoa Beach? Why do I want to deal with that again?
That was
I did-
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. I did nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm a veteran racer here. Me and my partner Jay. My crew is all my best friends. They've been with us there forever. And you're gonna embarrass me there? And I did nothing wrong? You see how I took the DQ in Atlantic City. I smiled about it. I shook everybody's hand. I congratulated them. I made a mistake. It is what it is. It happens. But in this scenario, I did nothing wrong. And the way that we were treated with it, I'm kind of like,
Right. It diminishes what you know how you feel about it. And again, results took 6 weeks. That's way too long. So
and I'm not there for the money, for the plastic trophy. I'm there with my friends and my family. And when you step on that stage, that's what means something to them. Not
Right.
6 weeks later, oh yeah, we made a boo boo. This wasn't in the rule book. I shouldn't have to reach out to other racers who we could say have juice to try to get me in touch with somebody. You call the IHRA number, no one answers the phone. Like every email you send, there's nobody there.
well, let's hope that maybe this platform helps and maybe it gets better. I mean, listen, it's going one of two ways. Okay, they're either going to step back like they're talking, restructure, get a grip on it, find somebody they can put in. I don't know why they didn't leave Redbeard. None of us know. But it's either going that way and they regroup and they put out a schedule next year that looks good and appealing, or it's going to be done. It's one of two. There's no in between on this.
And look, whatever happens with them, if IHRA goes away next year,
Thank you.
if they go
everything. I mean-
if they go away and don't come back in power boating, we're going to have to kind of reprogram ourselves that hey, it's like 2% interest rates. You know, 6 is the norm. You know, I know my buddies are not buying anything because they're waiting for the interest rates to get back down to 2. Well, that's not happening. So
Yeah.
go ahead and buy you something, you know, or you'll be homeless. And that's kind of, you know, the prize money. The big show was all great, but it's left town, and you're back to racing for this thing, you know.
Spin it
Right.
back.
So,
But
you know,
again, I think there's somewhere in there in this whole thing, and maybe somebody's at home watching tonight. Maybe there's somebody from Budweiser or Bear Aspirin or Aleve or who knows. I mean, these are all things that we all touch, right? Maybe there's somebody out there that would want to get involved with the right organization to make sure that the guys come and that it put on a show, because again, there's about 100 boats in the country that could come to any given race at any given time. And call me crazy, but an organization puts together the right schedule with the right amount of spacing, okay, with the right things in place that makes guys want to say, yeah, maybe this would work. Like a guy like Zacho, a kid in his 20s that put a ton of money in a boat, and all of us know what it takes to put money in these boats, and he's doing it himself.
Yeah,
Maybe it brings 4 more of them guys next year.
You make sacrifices in your life to do this, and then you get a slap in the face with all this stuff. So that kid probably killed himself trying to get this thing together, and he did all this work, and then the uncertainty.
Well,
why did I spend all this money? Why did I do all this? I don't even know what's going to happen.
Kyle, I met him in Key West last year, and he told me all about his boat. I loved listening to him. He was a great conversationalist. But when he got to the part about the outdrive and he had a number 6 on it, I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, you ain't gonna make no friends here.
Yeah.
And he took that all off, reglassed the transom, from my knowledge, bought a whole new setup from, I believe, IMCO. That's not cheap.
Nope.
And he's got the number 6 for sale. I mean,
So
that's
I know you've had some bad luck with the engine so far. If you need anything, give us a call. We're very familiar with those Oldsmobile power plants. We've done quite a few of them.
is that for Zacho?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good
if you need something, we're here. We might even have some parts here for you. So
See, guys, this is what it's about. If you're at home and you're watching as the prop turns and you like what you see, please share it with a friend, a family member. These guys work so hard. You get to see them now behind the scenes and what they're doing, what it takes. I mean, Dustin, what does it take to get your team to a race? How many drivers you got? Because you got your support rig, you got your tow rig for the boat. You got, I mean, it's just, it takes so much, right?
I mean, it probably this weekend, and look, it's a lot to some people, a little bit to some, less, some of the bigger teams. But I mean, we're probably by the time we ship that boat from Lake of the Ozarks, where we left it after the last race, hotel rooms, which, Roderick was kind enough to help me out with one of them. Social media guy, all that. We're probably $15,000 in. So,
Well,
I mean,
he asked how many people, not how much money.
Well,
that's
listen,
how much it costs. Oh, how many people?
but
Oh, I think we only had 4 people this week, but I mean this was kind of bare, everybody bare bones it to get over there.
Well, and let's say something about Atlantic City. So I've raced Atlantic City every year since I've been racing, pretty much. And I have to say, RWO did a very, very good job with it. The Golden Nugget backing them with it. This race went off better this year than it has in many, many, many years. I was so pleased with all the guys coming out with the Mod Vs. We thought, I didn't even touch the boat before this. I was working on everyone else's stuff. I didn't even touch the boat. And I'm like, okay, well, they're coming. So now we're definitely going to get going. And then Kirk's coming, and Fuel One's coming. And then Lily was racing with Mikolos, which I was super excited about because I want to get him more than anybody. We were beyond and Safe Cash as well, excuse me. We were beyond satisfied with all the guys showing us support for our local hometown race.
Yeah.
well, and then you got the special prop out.
Yeah. Then we got the special prop.
Well,
That's the
listen,
cool thing about having only 3 props,
right?
It limits our selection.
Hey, I think what RWO's done, I think what OPA's done in the past, we haven't seen an event from them this year. We will in St. Clair with Blue Water. What IHRA's presented and done, they have had 4 races. I think it's great. It gives everybody a choice of where to go to spend your money and your time, right? But again, we're here because what we all saw in Key West last year looked like it was going to be a really good thing.
Yeah.
And so, and it didn't turn out that way. But listen, we're not going anywhere. Everybody loves what they're doing. Speed Marine's not leaving the industry. You're not giving up. I mean, you're over there putting together a Super Cat. So you're bringing.
That's honestly not even the biggest thing. The biggest thing is our racer support. That's really the biggest thing we're doing. I want to grow this thing. People need help. People don't have all the knowledge. We've been in this since day one. Let me see what you got. Let me see the crunch on
chicken
that.
wings.
Hold it up.
It's wing night.
I tell you
nice.
what, this man from Louisiana, you bring the hot sauce, buddy.
I love that kid, man. He's awesome. I got one more thing, everybody. My son's got a TikTok page. It's called Kyle and the Boys 2.0. He's watching right now, and he texted me about 47,000 times. So if you could go on there, he's got about, I think, 250 followers right now. Anything we can do for him, he'll be super excited about it. You got Rowdy one of those TikToks?
No, but Rowdy's listening right now. So
Yeah, Rowdy better get on there. Dustin,
Listen.
I'll text you over little Kyle's number too, so you give it to Rowdy so they can play.
That's great. This has made it quite a buzz. And Scott, whoever you are, he says my brother does marketing for Wix Filters, and I've been trying to get them involved. Scott, I'll give you a little history lesson. There was a land developer several years ago that had Wix Filters on the side of his boat. It was in, I want to say it was Class 3,
Yeah,
maybe
it was a
Class 2.
fountain.
Herbot would know. And I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I want this platform to do. I want to find the next greatest companies to partner with as the prop turns. Let's turn this into something so that we don't lose the show. Because again, Atlantic City, 62% of the makeup there was Mod V in the brackets. Had Mod V in the brackets not come, Atlantic City is a whole different look.
Would have been
Okay.
a bust.
And I don't want that for Larry and Roderick. They're great guys. They got an awesome safety team. They've got great people checking you in. I mean, I've raced with them. I know who all of them are.
Hey, look,
But
it
Dustin-
takes the same amount of work for those guys if 2 people show up or 2,000 show up.
I would
And-
agree.
And look, and and boycotting a race or not going to something is all we're doing is shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's not the right way to do it.
No, and I don't agree with that. So I implore all the teams that have joined IHRA from day one, show up in Sheboygan.
Yeah.
Show up and show out and do the best you can and finish what you started, whether it's one race or four. Okay? Come to the 5th race, show up, show out, do your thing and enjoy it. Because hey, that's the last race of the season for that series. Then you got Clearwater. You got an event down in Inglewood that's a standalone that Inglewood does. Ray Labadie down there, good guy, and he's promoting it. He's talking about it. The town loves it. They actually want us there.
Englewood's not with anybody?
I believe APBA, but I don't want to. I'm not sure. You'd have to get a hold of Ray Labadie, and he would be able to answer all that. Good guy, just like everybody else. Now I've never met Daryl. I don't know. I'm sure he's a good dude. I do know Leah. I know Andrew. I knew Tommy. I met Tommy through Rick. Rick's super good people. And let's just give X Insurance a shout out, guys. What that man's done for this sport, I don't care what anybody says. I'll fight you. He's been involved like 6 seasons, I think, is that if I'm right. Poured a ton of money. He's not given up. Now, I will say this because I hit him in a live stream on it. Last year in Key West, he talked like, wished us all well and like he was going to be gone, but some boats, but he's still here and now he's back and he came and did his thing again.
I think he gets a little emotional with it. I mean, people don't appreciate what he does. We do. I mean, I think his footage is by far the best footage in offshore. I mean, I'm chasing Kirk down and I'm like, if I hit one, I might hit this helicopter.
He's down there. It reminds me of back in the day when Jeff Girardi was at his peak.
Right.
And Jeff's been involved with this. Let's give Freeze Frame a shout out because if we didn't have those videos, Kyle, Dustin, we wouldn't have any history. I mean, that he's been doing this almost 50 years too. So it's guys like Rick Lindsay, Jeff Girardi, Freeze Frame, X Insurance. These guys are bringing to the sport and saying, hey, here's what I can bring to the table. How do we make it better?
There's one other guy that everybody forgets about, and I don't think that's really right. So, T151 George pumped money into my class for, I think, 3 seasons straight. Full prize purse. Thank you for that. I'd never forgot it. I appreciated it. Thank you very much.
And that's George, the 151 team.
Yeah, yeah. He did a lot for us.
Well, and see, these are things people don't know. So, but anyway, let's wrap it up. I want to give a shout out to Ultrasonic Cleaning Machines, Full Tilt Auto and Marine, Grief Hab, Sam up there. She's great. If you got a problem, look her up. She'll talk to you. She'll get you off the wall. Culver's Restaurants out of Elkhart and Plymouth, the Hobbick Brothers, and the Ultimate Boat Racing Experience, Rob Goodwin. If you ever want to get your feet wet, call him, 859-466-6800. He'll get you in a boat, and you'll figure out if this is for you or not real quick. So, guys, I appreciate your time. These are tough conversations. And again, I don't want to offend anyone. That's not what this platform's about. I think there's a lot of good people in all of these series. And call me crazy. It would be so cool to see everybody under one tent at some point. And I saw your reaction.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
it. I just want everyone to understand this. I have a little emotion going here because I've been doing this for such a long time. I don't wish any organization ill will. I hope IHRA gets it together. I really
that's bad
do.
for business if you do.
They need to hear this. And I don't know how to talk to anybody. So this is my only way to get it out there. Listen, IHRA, get it together. We don't want you to crumble. We still want to race with you.
Hey, after the race, I forgot whether race in Coco or after the next race, IHRA, our little group chat where only the admins, the IHRA can send a message, was open to everybody. And for 20 minutes, we had suggestions come in. It just turned into a suggestion line.
And long before they turned that off.
Yeah, well, they turned it off, and look, my suggestion was we got 2 people in the boat, give 2 flags, give 2 trophies. And it kind of, I was joking, but it opened up something, and it was like, maybe we should have a channel, because you know, talking to Tommy, talking to the Redbeards of the world, they're like, man, that was all good input. You know, everybody stayed clean and just had, But let's all get together and let's hear it, because not only might we have some ideas, we might be able to. We've got some people we can help you. So
You know what's great about that? They're all gone.
it took him 1 hour and 59 minutes 31 seconds. The New Jersey came out in him. There we go. We got it. So
Hey, look, you guys are right. There's so much that could be done. The sport's great. It's having a little tough time. I know RWO didn't have the best turnout, but they still had the turnout. And again, brackets.
That's a better
Grassroots.
turnout than it's been.
Well, and
You gotta
I
give
think
them that.
Ryan Beckley said it was a better turnout than everybody expected. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what any of that means. I mean, gosh, was there going to be less? Because look, I know Bill Pyburn, he talked to different guys, but I know Discreet was one of them, and he's like, man, you got to come, you got to come.
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to support them. He's trying to help those guys out. All the
Right.
guys who will say boycotted or skipped RW, it ain't right.
No,
They
it's
should
not.
have been there.
You're right. We would have been there had we had a running boat, but it's not. It's not running yet, but we're getting there.
hey, one thing that we didn't touch on real quick is Superstock. Superstock, while they got the numbers, and they do have the numbers, and we don't have numbers like Superstock,
How many super stocks are there, Dustin?
A lot.
a lot.
I think 20.
But they form together, and they band together, and they come up with demands and everything. And while I think some of it's crazy, guess what? They get it.
Right.
They got it in St. Clair, of all places. So, they
19 I count on the IHRA list.
We can't even get everyone in our group text to answer. That's why
No.
we can't band together and do anything.
no 100%.
There's 4 of us answering in it.
Yeah, so it takes, everybody wants to get on the same page until it's time for everybody to get on the same page. Superstock, I mean, I talked to a Superstock. Let me tell you how good the Superstock organizations run. I talked to a buddy of mine that runs Superstock, not named Owen or Cameron. He runs another boat. And I asked him if he was going to St. Clair, because I was interested, because we're going to camp between St. Clair, Sheboygan, Michigan City, and I want him and my son to be able to play with each other. And he said, I don't think I'm going to go to St. Clair, but I don't know yet. I need to make sure we've got enough people going to Superstock, because I don't want to screw my class. Because they had to have a minimum to get paid up there. So that's a guy that doesn't want to go to the race, but he also doesn't want to screw his class. So I'm going to go if I have to, if they don't have enough people, because I want to make sure I held up my end of the bargain.
Well, and I think that's admirable.
Pretty solid.
That is. And what is the pay up at the St. Clair event? Do we know yet?
I was sworn to not say. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
I'm not going to speak about it because I don't know. I mean, I know it's out there somewhere, but to me it was confusing.
I spoke to Boomer about it. Boomer wanted me to round up some guys. He said it was 10,000 for our class. I'm not sure how it's distributed or anything, and I don't know if that still stands. But that was a couple days after the whole IHRA deal, and I they're trying to get some legs back under them. So go support them.
Well, look, I think we should support all the associations. I think we should be able to go pick and choose where we want to go. And the gentleman I raced with, Kyle Dietzen, he was pretty ambitious at the beginning of the year when we thought we were going to have it all together. He had us going to RWO, IHRA. He wanted to hit a little bit of everything, And I know a lot of guys would love to do that, but again, it comes back to feasibility, what you're spending, and you got to stay
100%.
within your budget. And you're right. I think that the way that the IHRA came in and did it, it just didn't work out because they didn't have checks and balances, and here we are. So
The Sheboygan race will be the first time that I ever purchased the insurance on an Airbnb. About I might have to cancel it.
I haven't even got one yet.
RWO actually has a secret weapon. They have Michelle Petro in there. I saw her this weekend. I think she's going to help significantly.
She's great. When did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if it's official or not. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying it, but I
Oh,
saw her there, and I
oops.
think what she did with P1 was unbelievable. I really, really do.
Well, listen, time will tell. And that's all we can do. I think everybody though that's participated at that first event for IHRA, I hope to see all of those teams at the last event in Sheboygan. I really do. And then I think that would show Daryl and his organization, hey, you still got their attention. If you put something together that's viable, they'll probably come.
Everybody wants it. They just want an answer.
Right.
Even if the money's different, that ain't the problem. The problem is the communication, the change in leadership constantly. We just want an answer.
You're
If
right.
there's a phone number, I want to be able to call and have someone on the other side of it. That's all that we need. Just
Right.
communicate with the racers so we know what's going on. And I understand from their standpoint, they got all these different organizations and all this different stuff that they're into. I get it. But help us out a little bit here, which is going to help them in turn.
Right. Well, I want to give a shout out to Tommy, Bo, Tiffany, Dana Kluwat, for sending some stars. And I'll say it, if you guys like what you're hearing, share the page, share the channel, because again, we're just trying to build something here. And I think
My mama gave you money?
I think it's like 99 cents, bro. Don't get excited.
That's 99 cents more than I got.
We're gonna go down to the dollar
I'll
store.
send it to you, pal.
We're gonna pick some candy out with the kids down at Tom's Garage. But again, all the jokes aside, you guys have been great tonight. I think we need to keep having some conversations. I think it's good to talk about it because listen, nobody else is talking back to us from the other organization, so we got to kind of figure out our own way to go here. And I'll say it, you guys are the show. You guys bring that, and I hope somebody in Key West is listening. I hope the city says, you know what, these guys are right. Maybe we could do a little fun for the racers. I mean, just anything, man. It just helps. And I think if that really could happen, and some of these organizations lay the sword down, I mean, let's talk about it, Kyle. Smitty was racing in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And for the folks at home that don't know, Smitty and his son Boomer, well, they're OPA.
Smitty hosted that race the year before.
So I think that's big.
And he still showed up to race his boat.
So that's big of him to come and to support it and to be a part of it.
Although my buddy Jay was calling him 3 days before and they weren't going, and all of a sudden they showed up. I think they're scared of the old knucklehead boat. I'm just putting it out there.
Well,
I think Anthony and Smitty are a little nervous of that old knucklehead boat. So they'll
they
have
don't
to
call
get
him
some
Evil Ed for nothing.
Hey, Christian, I got to get going because these winds
Yeah.
are getting cold. Hey,
Yep.
thank you for everything you do. I'm amazed by the amount of people that are texting me that are watching this that have nothing to do with boat racing. So that's awesome. I genuinely wait for your podcast each week. It's the only thing I really got going on in life right now.
That's a lie,
So
but
I
thank you.
appreciate that. But no, seriously, you do provide a platform to have these conversations and the way you do it, that everybody matters, whether you're a class that's got a $3 million budget, or a team that has a $3 million budget, or or you the little guys that's renting a boat from boat experience to go see if you want to do this. You provide everybody a platform. So, and it's growing, and I mean, you've got 18,000. We were talking, I remember I met you in St. Pete, and you had 2,000 followers, and now you got 18,000 or 20,000 on here. So keep up the good work, man.
Well, I appreciate that, and we're gonna wrap it up. And I just want to say thank you to you guys, because again, I think the conversations it's working. I think there's light at this end of the tunnel, and I think people are starting to see the value that all you guys bring. And St. Clair is going to show us the same thing that Atlantic City did. The grassroots guys are going to come support it. All those big boats that everybody wants to see, the Dirty Moneys, the Great L's, the WHMs, all of them. I know I'm missing a few because we're wrapping it up, but listen, if you like what you're seeing, share as the prop turns. Let's keep the conversation going. Dustin Kluwat Cartel, Kyle from the Speed Marine. Kyle, drop the phone number for the business, not that you're busy enough. Come on.
732-920-7669.
All right. And Kluwak Cartel, hats off, man. You brought the state of Louisiana into powerboat racing.
Thank you.
That's an incredible achievement. I think guys are paying attention. I think more states should get on board. And I think somebody should say, hey, look, these guys got something. We need to get involved. Let's make it happen. And hats off to Cade Sterling for wanting to, be a contingent sponsor and bring that up too. Because again, conversations need to be had. We need to do more of this. And without guys like you, the sport doesn't go anywhere.
Well, good deal, brothers.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate
y'all's time.
And
Thanks for everybody sticking around. We're going to get off this live, let you all go to bed. Thanks for watching As the Prop Turns. Reverend Jim, thank you for all you do. Everybody loves you. And with that, let the dogs bark, baby. As the Prop Turns.